We want to break into regularly scheduled programming to show you a fire. This is about 19th Avenue and McDowell. You see those huge flames. Now, we don't know exactly what started this fire. It initially came out over the police scanners as a hazmat situation, and then once we were able to get this ADOT shot out to it, we started seeing these huge flames, and you see that big black smoke billowing high in the sky. That typically means there is a lot of fuel burning in that fire. Again, this is at about 19th Avenue and McDowell. This is affecting traffic there at the mini stack. You see some of those vehicles backed up there along the I-10. And let me show you how far away, because we're hearing reports that you can see that smoke and some of those flames all the way far back as the Capitol. In fact, this shot right here is from the station, and you see how far away that is. We're at Missouri and 7th Avenue, and a lot of black smoke billowing into the air. We have crews on their way to this situation to try to get more details. We're also trying to contact Phoenix Fire to get more details. We're just getting word into the newsroom that the ramp along that area is closed because there's a lot of smoke that is covering some of those roadways there. And we have another live ADOT shot that we're showing you, and those backed up vehicles kind of headed right into that direction. So just to give you an idea of where this is, once again, 19th Avenue and McDowell. It looks like it's coming, if you're coming westbound on the I-10, that's when you would run into that. You see that the Department of Public Safety has blocked off that rampway because some of those flames are actually reaching up to that ramp. Now, this is an area close to the county fairgrounds out there. This is on the way underneath the I-10 if you're traveling south on 19th Avenue. Again, just showing those huge flames and a lot of fuel. We don't know anything as far as injuries at this point. We're still trying to gather details, but just to reiterate, if you are headed this direction, stay far away as possible because it initially came out as a hazmat situation. We don't know what's burning. I can tell you firsthand that there are a lot of warehouses in that area, a lot of industrial buildings in that area. If you've traveled this area many times back and forth between the west side headed into downtown, you're probably familiar with this on-ramp. This is the on-ramp that links the I-10 headed westbound onto the I-17 headed northbound. So we'll stay on this shot, and again, we're trying to get some more details into the newsroom right now, but you can see those flames and that smoke from downtown Phoenix, as far away as the state capitol. And then this shows you how huge that fire is, because we're at 7th Avenue and Missouri in central Phoenix, and you see a lot of smoke billowing into the air. Just to continue to reiterate, we initially got this as a hazmat situation. We started looking into it, and when we started panning around those ADOT cameras, that's when we saw those huge flames. We have several crews headed in that direction, trying to get more and more details as far as what is taking place. But the on-ramp linking the I-10 to the northbound I-17 is closed. The Department of Public Safety closed that just a short while ago when you started seeing those flames reaching that on-ramp right there. We've seen traffic backed up, and this is just the beginning, because we expect traffic to be backed up for miles if this thing continues to burn, if the Department of Public Safety doesn't make the call to shut that freeway down altogether. So we're monitoring this situation. We would imagine that many crews, fire crews, not only from Phoenix, but also several surrounding agencies. We're talking Glendale, we're talking Tempe. When you have a situation like this, you have fire agencies coming from all across the valley to try to help out on a situation, to try to get this handled. You see not a lot of backup on the I-17, but there is some going the opposite direction along the I-10. That would be the east traffic is what we were just showing you, but westbound traffic is affected. This is at 19th Avenue and McDowell, and we just started hearing of this fire just a short while ago, maybe within the last 15 minutes or so, and as soon as we got a shot on it, we saw those huge flames. Now, we haven't heard anything as far as injuries or what sparked this fire, but we're still trying to gather some more details, and again, we have many crews headed that direction. Again, we're trying to gather some details on Twitter as well. Several people tweeting right now about the flames, about the smoke. Our own the I-17 North is the on-ramp that is closed. Just watching my Twitter feed right now, we're getting tweets from Ken Bennett, Secretary of State. He shows a picture, and he's looking out from the state capitol, showing that black billowing smoke in the air. Steve Martos, a public information officer with Phoenix Police, is tweeting out, "Stay away from the area of 19th through 22nd Avenue and McDowell." That's where Phoenix Fire is responding to this fire here. We actually have Bob Kahn with the Phoenix Fire Department and to fill us in on some of the details of what is going on. Chief Kahn?
Hi. Hey, Javier. How are you?
Good. How are you? What can you tell us about this situation?
Well, it's going to a greater alarm. I don't have the specifics yet. The fire is relatively new, but it is of good size. I'm looking at the column myself right now, so this will be a greater alarm fire. I don't know the content and I don't know the structure, but typically what we're going to do is try and surround it with engine companies and use hand lines to protect exposures. And if we have to rescue people, that will be our first priority. If not, then it's going to be setting up master streams to try and save any occupancies around or near the property that's burning.
I know you said you don't know specifically what's burning, but give us a lay of the land. I know you're familiar with this area, a lot of warehouses in that area.
A lot of warehouses. There's Arco Drive, so you have a lot of hydrocarbons in the area. A lot of warehouse space, some manufacturing, and then there's spots of some residential, not a great deal specifically in that immediate area.
As far as those flames, how are you able to judge how high up they are?
No, I'm not. I'm going to try and make my way down there, Javier. I'm just at a disadvantage now because I'm in north central Phoenix watching the column, much like you are.
When you hear a hazmat situation, what goes into as far as dispatching? How does that work?
Well, we have different special operations people assigned that are hazardous material technicians. Station 4 on McDowell. There's a few of them scattered throughout the city. They will add on basically to the call, and they're experts in hazardous materials. And the materials can be really any fire is hazardous and has a certain amount of combustibles and chemicals that you worry about, but specific things that would create an extra hazard in the unburned particles of combustion and the smoke.
I'm being told this is a second alarm fire. How many units would be dispatched for a situation like this? You'll
get about 100 firefighters when it's all said and done on this fire. If it goes, it could turn into a campaign fire. If they get quick conversion, meaning the water creates a kind of a thermal reaction into steam, and they convert the fire and the fire goes out, then you might stay in the 60 firefighter range. It just depends. But I imagine if they don't knock it down in the next couple of minutes, they'll even escalate the call and get some more resources there.
I would imagine the safety of individuals is your first line of focus. Once that happens, do you pull out and reassess as far as damage to other facilities?
Yeah, we have a risk profile that really says we will risk our lives to save a life. In a calculated way, we'll fight a fire to save property. And then if it's a total loss, we'll go completely defensive and not risk any of the firefighters. There's no such thing as a safe fire, Javier. That's a myth. If anybody thinks there's a standard fire or a routine fire, they're all complicated.
At what point would other agencies get involved in this firefight?
You know, Navy with the hazardous material call, typically our system is pretty robust that if we draw resources into the fire in Central Phoenix, they would help on the edges of Phoenix to respond to calls if there's a domino effect.
Okay, when you say a domino effect, depending on where that fire was headed as far as outlying areas?
No. In other words, if we're sending vehicles from the East Valley to the fire, then Tempe might have to protect part of East Phoenix for a while. The system's set up to do that automatically. It's actually computerized.